So I believe we are live. So welcome everyone. I really hope you like this short teaser video of today's webinar. You can guess the topic. This will be the latest release of MobileNAV UI 10.0. The major changes we have done was related to the UI and user experience. We try to put a special focus on these aspects, but this is a topic for Tibor. So yeah, here's our slideshow. Sorry for the delay. Before Tibor starts with his walkthrough of all the changes we have done to the latest version of MobileNAV, as every time I do, I will address a few news to partner updates. There are two important topics I would like to discuss today. First, the marketing cooperation. We call every partners to action. This is a call to action actually, to work together. So if you need any help with your marketing stuff, you can and want to promote our product, we really want to help you with that. So if you are thinking about a social campaign or any marketing activity, just feel free to reach out to us and we will find the best way to cooperate. The second topic is something that will come live in a few days. And this is related to the pricing and licensing. We have sent out a few newsletters. Can you stop? So we have sent out a few newsletters recently. We are running different promotions, and we will update our pricing and licensing guide. There is a very important date. This is the 15th of October. This is important because we follow up with the regulations and the changes that Microsoft implies on us. First of all, Microsoft has increased the enhancement percentage of the perpetual licenses from 17 to 18%. We will follow this. Microsoft has implied this as of the 1st of October. But we will only follow this on the 15th. The second point why this date is important, we won't issue any more perpetual licenses for Business Central SaaS after the 15th. Third point, on-prem to cloud promotion starts at this day. So basically, if you have an on-premise license, for example, a purchase model license, perpetual license, and you want to move to SaaS, or your customer wants to move to SaaS, then we will have a special discount to motivate you to do that. And there is a fourth point, which is perpetual license promotion until the 15th of October. So you still have a few days to do that. So basically, we provide a 25% discount on all purchase licenses until the 15th of October. So basically, if you think or if you are about to purchase a new license or extend your existing license base, and this is a perpetual one, then I suggest to do that until the 15th of October. And again, just a friendly reminder, after the 15th of October, you won't be able to have a perpetual license in Business Central SaaS. So if your client is still considering perpetual licensing and they will move to the SaaS, or they are already in the SaaS, you can license in perpetual model until the 15th of October. Yeah, basically, if you are watching this webinar, you are most probably on our newsletter list. We will send out a follow-up email likely still this week. So stay tuned. If you are not subscribed yet, please do that. You can do that by filling out the form on our websites. Well, we have a contact form almost everywhere. So yeah, basically these are the two topics I wanted to cover. And yeah, the 10.0 news and all the interesting facts are coming. So please welcome Tibor.
Welcome. Thanks, Barton. Before we start with the 10.0 new features, I would like just very quickly run through the 9.0 release latest features. We have started a UI redesign since 8.0 release, and that was a continuation of that in 9.0 as well, where we have covered the list in that release. After that, we have also decided to allow grouping fields on the cards. We have further improved the code field selection and how you can select certain lookups and which fields of the lookup can be transferred to the card itself. We have also tried to further enhance the user experience for the configurators, meaning that you don't need to every time code when you want to refresh certain things based on a certain action. That was the auto refresh on story. There we allowed to refresh automatically list, the parent list, the parent card, or the child cards or lists based on a checkbox basically on the configuration page. We allowed the quick Boolean edit possibility on the list directly. We have included the client application version on device management. So if you are having a large device base on a certain site, then you have a high-level overview of the client application versions across your company, which is quite useful, I believe. And we have increased the log file for debugging purposes and error detection purposes. And we have some smaller improvements in the regular expressions and the field position or the on-close triggers. But let's see the 10.0 features. This is just a quick list before we go into the details. We have continued this UI redesign, and to be honest, I think we have went more than that. We have consulted with an external UX company who is quite experienced in the user experience and user interface design concepts. And we took their notes and took their ideas, and we have tried to build it into this 10.0 release. As Berton already mentioned, the UI redesign is the biggest part of 10.0 release, but obviously we also have much more than that. What else? Odata. Odata was requested by partners already in the past a couple of times, but since Microsoft is still supporting the SOAP, we always said that okay, SOAP is there. You don't need to worry about it. It will be there for a couple of years still, but now we have made the step forward, and we are now also supporting Odata together with MobileNAV. So now you can choose between Odata or SOAP interface. This is really up to you. Unread record count. This is a feature for the client application where you can basically very simply check a certain checkbox on the configuration page, and as a result of that, you will see the unread record count on the MobileNAV device. If there's a new record in that list, that will be updated, and the user will be notified that a new service task or a new service order arrived to him, and he can react on it. The PIN login, the lock unlock, and the auto login is all around the login experience and how you log into MobileNAV and how you can lock or unlock the device itself if you are working in a shared device environment. Obviously, these features are not really important for those who are just using their own device and they are not really sharing the device with others, but I think there are many of those who are working with a shared device environment. And finally, two smaller ones, the barcode and the RFID emulation feature. This is very useful for configurators, I believe, because with these two features, you can very easily simulate the barcode reader or the RFID reader without an actual device with you, and you can test your changes, try out your regular expressions, etc. And finally, the supported language management. I will talk about that later on. So let's see the UI design. I think you have already seen the teaser, which was a very nice video about the changes. I will also show you the MobileNAV application in a minute. But these are the biggest points in the redesign feature. So we have changed the colors, the complete color scheme of the application. We have completely redesigned the icon set, including the application icons and the page icons in the configuration. There is a new look for the main menu. There's a new look for the lists, the cards, the title bar of each column, and the toolbar itself. We have also introduced the SVG icon support, which will be very important in terms of skinning and skinnability of MobileNAV. And to protect those who would like to still stay with the old design, we have introduced a modern design switch. So this is not a must what we have done. Of course, there will be certain things which will be mandatory, and everyone will get them, but there will be others which can be decided depending on this modern design switch. Okay, before we start, I would like to very quickly go to MobileNAV and show you the client application. So now I will quickly log in, and you will see the new design. Okay, so now this is the new look of the MobileNAV application. As you can see, our new color scheme got rid of this bluish style and bluish colors in the different areas. Our main color is white, and there's a light gray color for the differentiator color to indicate certain portions of the screen. But basically, the application itself is on a white basis. The home screen, as you can see, we are having new chevrons to expand and collapse the different main menu items. We have a totally new icon set, which is a very simplified, easy to understand icon set for the base configuration pages. If I open up, for example, the customer card, then you can also see the main difference is not that now we are having cell-based line formats, which means that we have basically configured the first and second line format, and we have stepped forward from there. So now we have a 6-cell based configuration across all the base configurations. So we have done this work in the whole application. We have a new toolbar with new icons, with a little bit bigger font sizes, so you can more easily read the captions on the toolbar buttons. We are now having a hamburger icon with a multi-level menu. So many interesting things. I really hope that you will love this new design. I think it's much more simpler than before and easier to read and then process. And we are really concentrating on the data and the functionality, and not about the unnecessary icons and colors. So let's see the different portions of the UI design part. So the first portion of the colors, I already talked about that. So we have a background with white and the differentiator color with light gray. These are the two main colors inside the base configuration. And the foreground color is a very dark gray. It's not black, but it's a very dark gray. And we have a highlight or highlight color, which is a modern blue. With that you can basically get the user attention on the most important portions of the UI. And this gives us I believe that this gives us a more simplified look in the application. And of course, we had to introduce some new configuration colors, which you can see on the right side on the slide. So now we have much more configurable colors inside the MobileNAV configuration. So the page background, page foreground, and title toolbar background and foreground is a new color which you can basically adjust in the MobileNAV color scheme. Second portion of the UI design was the icons. We have completely changed the icon set inside the application. And we are using the Google icon set. We have included a link here, but maybe we can also send it out in the follow-up email to you. I can also navigate to that because I've already opened that in my browser. So this is a quite big icon set with tons of different icons. You can very easily search in this icon set in the search window. So if you have a certain topic, like a custom page where you are looking for a certain icon, then you can come here, type in a couple of search phase, and very likely you will find a very good icon for that. And you can very easily export this or download the SVG format of the icon itself. And thanks to MobileNAV SVG support, I can import this SVG icon directly into MobileNAV configuration. You don't need to recolor it or resize it or whatsoever. The SVG will handle that completely, so you don't need to worry about that. And yeah, we really challenge you to use the icons because I think this will give a very good look to the application. So when you are adding your custom pages, don't forget to also take a couple of minutes to select a certain icon for that in the main menu. And thanks to that, the user will get a much better experience. Of course, we have done this work for the base configuration, so that icon set is already there. You can still export it, and you can also browse those icons what we have selected for the base configuration, but you can also come to here and select a different one for your customizations. Main menu, we have already talked about that, so there's a new icon set for the main menu. Now the category is not centrally aligned, but left aligned. We have a new chevron to expand and collapse the category itself. The biggest change, I think, here is that, of course, we are using a bigger font size, and we are using more spacing between the icon and the caption. But we are not using the default MobileNAV icon anymore in the main menu. So if you don't assign an icon for your custom page, then we don't display the MobileNAV icon there. We are trying to enforce you to use your custom icon from a SVG format. The list, as promised, we have done the biggest work where we have basically configured the cell-based format across the MobileNAV base configuration. So now we are really using the previous feature, which has been introduced in 8.0, I believe, where you can have a 6-cell-based line format. Each cell can have its own font style. And in the base configuration, we have created a quite good default page style, which basically defines these different cells. So the first row in the new list style, as you can see, is a bluish. It's the highlight color with a normal side. The second row cells with a very dark gray and a little bit smaller font size. And the last one is a gray color with a very small font size. So that's how we also visually indicate what is important. So what will be important, you will put it in the first 2 cells probably on the list. If it's not that important, then in the second, and the less important things can go into the lower third line or further line cells in this configuration. On the list, we are also using more spacing. We have a little bit changed on the own button. So now if you press the own button, it will take an immediate action. I can very quickly also show you that. So if you're on the customer card, first of all, the own button not called own anymore, but mine. So it is a little bit changed, but not that much. And if I press it, it will immediately filter the list. So I don't need to go and press the refresh after that, what was previously. Now it's having an immediate action. And yeah, finally on the list, we are changing the quick action enable or disable state. What I can show you that on the warehouse picks, I believe. So if I go to a certain pick, which will show me the pick items, there is a quick action which is now active. So if I click on that, I will have a context menu to execute the quick action. But as far as I open up a certain line, the quick action will remain there, so it's not disappearing and not changing the UI of the list itself, but the icon itself will be disabled, and that is also indicated with the color of the icon. And now, if I click in on that, of course I have the previous error message which says that I need to close this card before I try to execute the quick action again. These are very small changes, but I think these are very important in the user experience. Okay, cards. The cards is also having quite significant changes. We have also got rid of the different icons on the card cells. Previously, where you had a drill down possibilities, for example, on the customer balance, for example, drill down into the open item ledger entries or customer ledger entries. Sorry, there we have displayed that particular icon which has been configured for the customer ledger entry. Now we have replaced that with this chevron right indicator, so that the chevron right indicator will indicate that you can navigate to the right, and also the chevron back in the title bar will indicate that you can go back. So basically, with these arrows, like the collapse and expand in the main menu, there we are trying to indicate where you can go forward, either right or left or down, etc. And that gives again a little bit simplified look, and we don't overwhelm the user with different icons on the UI. We have got rid of the value scrolling. So in the previous versions, when the value was longer, so it could not fit into the width of the card, there we have started to scroll the value. Now this is not happening anymore. Again, we are not using the boldness in the captions. So we don't want to take the user attention into the, for example, the card captions. We are using more spacing. As you can see, we got rid of the separators, but this is, as many other things, is part of the style configuration of the app. So you can still decide that you want to use, for example, a separator between the card cells. But we thought that in the base configuration, we don't want to use, for example, separators like that. The title bar, again, we are not scrolling the title bar anymore. Before it was quite long, because we have included in the previous stage first line format in the title bar of the next drill down column. Now we are having a 2-line title bar, as you can see on the screenshot, and I can also show that here. So, for example, in the warehouse pick lines, the last list indicates that this is a warehouse pick line list, and the second line of the title bar indicates that which warehouse pick are we talking about at this moment. So, instead of using one line with scrolling, now we have 2 lines with different font styles, and thanks to the font styles, you can also differentiate the meaning of the title bar lines. We have got rid of the closing X on the columns. Now we are using chevron back, which is a more modern way of navigating inside the application. And we have also changed the position of these buttons. So now the closing X became a chevron back, and it has moved to the left upper left corner of the columns. And the previous page icon became a hamburger icon. So now we are not displaying the page specific icon on the list or the cards, but we are showing a hamburger icon, and the hamburger will give you something like a multi-level context menu where you can find your functionality. Yes, and as already talked about it, we are supporting the SVG icons. Thanks to the SVG icons, you don't need to really recolor the icon set inside the MobileNAV configuration, because the SVG icon set already provides that you can use different colors, and the application will slightly modify the SVG icons, the download the SVG icons to match those color scheme what you are setting. So basically, from 10.0, it's enough that you just review those, I don't know, 18 different colors what we use inside the application, and just choose different colors for that. And as you can see on these two screenshots, the difference between these two screenshots is just the color scheme, nothing else. So no icons has been recolored or imported or whatsoever. On the left side, we are using this very dark gray color for the icons, and on the right side, as you can see, those are white icons on a black background. And this is basically could happen thanks to the SVG support, nothing else. Okay, and finally the toolbar. On the toolbar, we also have, of course, a complete icon change. We have slightly changed the more show more and show less button. It was previously not a button like the others, but a little bit different, really indicated part of the toolbar itself. Now it is also like a normal toolbar button, and if you can press it, then it says show more or show less, depending on whether the toolbar is expanded or collapsed. And certain things has been moved to under the hamburger menu. So instead of showing many things on the toolbar, now it is almost hidden under the hamburger menu. And finally, as promised, certain things will dependent on this modern design switch, which is basically available in the MobileNAV general setup centrally. And that modern design switch will indicate whether you would like to have this chevron back and hamburger icon in the MobileNAV design. So you can still remain the elder design, and that in that case you will have a closing X still, and you will see the page icons in their actual position or in the previous position. But if you tick this modern design, then from that point on you will have a chevron back, hamburger icon, and person icon in the application. And the modern design switch also controls whether certain things should be moved from the view settings from the toolbar of the list or the cards into the hamburger or not. So this is also something, but what is basically depending on that switch. Okay, so that's about the UI redesign part. Let's talk about it on the next topic, which is the Odata compatibility. Odata will be supported from Business Central 21 or above, and that was because of one of the mandatory things, which is the system ID and system role version fields on the pages, because that is very simple from BC 21 version to put the system role version onto the page. In the previous version, it was even not possible, or it was hard to do that. And BC21 is the first version where the system row version can be put onto the page as a public field, and MobileNAV will require that. On the service tier, of course, you must have a couple of settings in order to enable the Odata protocol. But I think this is already known by you, by partners or customers. So the Odata service is enabled, the Odata services v4 endpoint enabled, and the API services enabled should be checked and available. If you check this free, then and restart your service, then the Odata will work on your instance. The interface itself is quite different from the SOAP protocol of Dynamics NAV or Business Central, because Odata is using different HTTP methods like get, patch, post, or delete, whereas the SOAP was only using HTTP post and nothing else. And inside the post XML content, you could describe what you want to do. So the HTTP method is one portion of the difference, but there are also many other things. The next thing what is different is in the SOAP we had a so-called web service key, which basically described the actual record and its version in the SOAP. Now in Odata we have this E tag, which is somewhat similar to that, but it's more than that, because the E tag is also contains the calculated fields of the record and not just the version of the SQL version of the record itself. As I already said, the system ID and system row version will be mandatory in the MobileNAV Odata pages, what you want to configure for MobileNAV, because that was technically needed in order to make Odata happen inside MobileNAV. And yeah, one limitation is big text as a global variable is not supported on the pages, but that's not our limitation. That's basically Microsoft limitation. And the biggest difference between Odata and SOAP is how you can invoke functions, bound functions compared to the SOAP interface. Because previously you had to basically publish a code unit under the same name as the page is having as a service name, and with that technique you could extend the methods on the SOAP interface with additional custom methods like post on the sales order, etc. This needs to be done differently in Odata, because now these methods should be on the page object and not on a separate code unit. This is one thing. The second thing is that you cannot use var parameters, which var parameters when you are having that as an outgoing parameter as well, and not just in incoming parameter. In Odata, you cannot have var parameters. And the workaround is that you can have a return value, which is a string, and in MobileNAV we will provide you a result helper code unit, which basically can help you in composing multiple return values in one string, basically, and the MobileNAV application can then use that for processing the return value. And how you can migrate to Odata? That's a big question, because you probably have a SOAP configuration. You might also have customization based on SOAP. So how you can switch to Odata? First of all, we introduced a switch inside MobileNAV add-on on the server side. In the general setup, there's a one-time action which called switch to Odata v4 protocol. If you press that, then the protocol of the add-on will change to Odata, and there is no way back. So this is not something what you can switch to back and forth. If you press it once, like a feature inside Business Central, if you enable that, then there is no way back. Of course, you need to extend all of your custom pages with the system ID and system row version, because these two field is mandatory for Odata pages in the configuration. but we also try to help you in creating your page methods based on the SOAP configuration. So we have introduced a generate Odata method function or action inside the configuration of MobileNAV. So if you have a SOAP configuration, you can press this button, and that will basically give you something like a text file where we pre-generate these methods, which you just need to copy and paste onto the page object, and you compile your extension, and then you are almost ready to go. What is a little bit different is how you handle the reports. Those reports where you have a request form in MobileNAV as well. For that, in MobileNAV based configuration, we also have a totally separate code unit because that is quite different. We could not really handle that inside one common code unit with SOAP and Odata. But we have, as I promised, we have introduced a code unit which called the result helper, and that helps you in composing the result, the multiple return values in one text parameter. So thanks to these helper buttons and switches, I think the switch from SOAP to Odata will be quite smooth. I already know that some of you already tried that. We are also in the middle of the process of creating a documentation on how you can work with Odata and how you can configure MobileNAV with Odata, because there are a couple of changes, not that much, but there are a couple of things that you need to do a little bit differently. So in the next days, we are planning to publish that document as well for you. So if someone would like to try out the Odata, then you will also have a documentation over that. Okay, next feature, Unread record count. This is a simple checkbox in the MobileNAV configuration on the behavior tab. If you enable that, then basically the MobileNAV client application will maintain which records has already been downloaded, and after a certain refresh, which are the records which are new, and the new record count will be indicated in the main menu, on the title bar of the list, and on each line of the list. I can also show you that very quickly. So if I go to the service, then you can see the My Service task is having a number here, which is saying 1. If I open up the list of the My Service tasks, that now this shows that I'm having 100 record in this list, meaning that I have not seen this service task yet as a service technician. And if I'm clicking on the card, then as you can see, it became a red record automatically, and the number has disappeared from the main menu, disappeared from the title bar of the list, and now this record became a red record. And for example, if the dispatcher on the Business Central side would assign me a new one, and the background refresh would be executed on the client side, then this again would show me that there is a new item for me, which I need to see. Of course, you can also change this back. So there are buttons, new buttons for this feature. So I can make this record unread again if I'm just by mistake clicked on that, and I would like to process that later on. And I'm also having a button on the list to make all the list items read or unread. Okay. Yes, and this number is basically refreshed on during the login. Obviously, if you have background synchronization enabled, then that during the background synchronization is also updated. But if you press manual refresh on the list, or you change or press the make read or make unread, and obviously these numbers and these indicators will be maintained inside the application. And it will be automatically read if you're opening up the card or if you are pressing any quick action directly on the list item. Okay, next feature, pin logging. This is a new feature. This would be very handy, I believe, if the users are having complicated passwords, but it's not that easy to type that password in on the device itself. But they are using a shared device environment, so it's not possible for them to save their password automatically, because in that case the users could very easily switch between the login configuration without asking for the password. In such an environment, the PIN logging can be a good feature, because the PIN logging will allow you to basically do not type the complicated password, but just use a 4-digit PIN in order to very quickly protect your login configuration from the others, but you can still very easily log in with typing in those 4 digits. To help users to try out this feature, we will allow to generate a PIN on the first login after the 10.0 upgrade. So we'll ask once the user if he wants to generate a PIN for his login configuration. If he presses no, then we don't ask that question again. So this is asked only once. The PIN generation can be disabled on the server side. So if you also do not want to allow the users to generate PINs, and you want to enforce them to always ask for a password, that is an option. But for that, obviously, you need to have a 10.0 MobileNAV add-on as well. So it's not enough that you just update the client application. And that is available in the general setup. So if you go to the general setup, then there you will find an allow login PIN generation checkbox. If you set it to false, then the users won't be able to generate PIN for their login configurations. And the PIN works in a way that you can try the PIN 3 times. If you make a mistake and you don't remember your PIN anymore, then you try it 3 times. After the 3rd time, it will default back to the password, and from that point on, you can only type in the actual password for the user. And the advantage of this one, as I already stated, is a faster login, because you don't need to type in your complicated password into the MobileNAV application. Okay, lock unlock is the same area, so shared device environment. With this feature, you can very quickly lock your MobileNAV session, so to say, and you can drop the device on the desk and go away, because until it is locked, no one can unlock it. So as you can see on the screenshot here, there's a new lock option under the person icon context menu. So in that way, you can manually lock MobileNAV application, and it will automatically display this enter PIN window. So if someone just accidentally take your device from the desk, then you need to enter the PIN, obviously. But if he do not know that, or he's not you, then he can basically press the cancel, and he will basically draw it back to the login screen, where he can choose a different login configuration. So there is no way to very easily take your login configuration and take your credentials and session and do certain things in the system without your attention. And we have also introduced another thing here, which is this automatic resume lock after setting in the MobileNAV general setup. If you enable this setting, meaning that you are using a bigger than 0 value here, then it will mean that after, for example, 1 minute of idle time, it will automatically display a lock. How that works: so if you enable this on the server side and someone is using the device but switches to another application, for example, then MobileNAV application will maintain how much minutes has been elapsed after the last action, basically, And if that was more than the specified minutes in this setting, then it will automatically lock the screen when the user switches back to MobileNAV. So this automatic lock is again can protect your device, your session, your user from others. And this also was requested by partners who are using a shared device environment. Auto login. The biggest difference between the auto login before 10.0 and after 10.0. Before 10.0, when you have saved your last session, meaning that you have opened a couple of lists and cards and whatsoever, and you I don't know, just terminated MobileNAV or the operating system decided that MobileNAV should be terminated because of memory reasons. Then on the next time when the user selected MobileNAV, then we displayed the login screen first. And if the user selected the very same login configuration what was used before, then we realized that now this is a restore. So after the login process, we have restored all the pages which has been opened before. So that was the before 10.0 behavior. Now after 10.0, if the application was suspended or killed or whatsoever, then first we'll display this pin enter screen for the user. And if he enters his pin, then after the pin successful pin enter, then we just simply restored all the pages, the cards, lists, and everything basically what the user left MobileNAV, and we do not execute a full login process. So again, this auto login is something which is very useful for scenarios when you leave the device for a couple of seconds, minutes, or hours, because thanks to the auto login, you don't need to wait a couple of seconds. Remember, when I started my demo, I had to wait a couple of seconds until I have a successful logged in. This is not needed if the auto login is enabled and if you leave the device like that. So faster resume and no authentication in progress delay. This new feature, barcode and RFID emulation, is for configurators. Before that, if you had to develop an application for the warehouse, then you had to use a barcode scanner to test your regular expressions or RFIDs. So you need to have a real device in order to test your configuration. Now from 10.0, we are introducing the developer mode. I can also show you how you can enable that. So if you come to MobileNAV and you go to app settings, then you go to settings. In the settings, as you can see in the barcode scanner mode, now we have a new option which is called developer mode. And if you press the configure button on the developer mode, here you can enter test barcodes. You can enter as many as you wish. You can also delete them if they are not used anymore. And once you have finished the entering of the test barcodes, you can very easily go to the items, for example, and where you are in the application, you are clicking on this person icon. You press the scan test barcode. You select which barcode you want to emulate, and there you go. The same thing happened like I would use a real barcode scanner. So in this case, I have scanned in the bicycle barcode, and that identified that bicycle item in the list and automatically opened up the item list. And the same applies to the regular expression splitting and everything else. And this feature is also available for RFIDs. So if you are having RFID enabled in your configuration, then you can also simulate the RFID reading with this feature. Okay, and finally, the last add-on feature is the support language management. Before 10.0, it was not that easy to understand how the different languages work in MobileNAV. Now we have made this more easy and more user-friendly, so to say. Now we have introduced a new setting in the MobileNAV administration. As you can see in the setup area, It's called supported languages. By default, the English will be there, but you can extend that with your languages. Obviously, the MobileNAV configuration should also support that language. So if it's not translated to that language, then this also won't work. But in this central area, you can define clearly which languages do you want to allow in MobileNAV. And if you click on the MobileNAV captions on the support language screen, then you can also see which captions has been identified by MobileNAV add-on. So with that feature, you can very easily and clearly handle your multilingual MobileNAV installation. Okay, and in this release, we have also introduced a couple of base configuration improvements. I worked together with a senior business central consultant, and we have totally reviewed the MobileNAV base configuration. So we have added many new things in the base configuration. Obviously, we have set the list cell formats as I already mentioned. So the 6-cell based format has been introduced across the configuration. We have extended the configuration with name to, address to, state, country, and region code by default, which was not there yet. We have introduced grouping for the cell to build to ship to fields. So if you open, for example, the sales orders in the base configuration, and you open up the sales order card, and as you can see, the cell to build to and ship to is already grouped. So we are using the grouping feature, which has been there but not part of the base configuration, but now it is included automatically. What else? We have also introduced the sales credit memos, which was not in the sales yet. Same as the assembly order. These new pages and new features was requested by partners already a couple of times. So now we have made the step forward, and now they are available in the base configuration already. We have added the vendor ledger entry as a drill down from the vendors balance field. And one more big change, we have introduced the package number, which is a new feature of Business Central from version Business Central 18. Package number is a third dimension of item tracking. So besides serial number and lot number, you can also define package number. And now MobileNAV configuration is also reflecting this new feature, and you can also use that in MobileNAV base configuration as well. And we have further improved the MobileNAV ad hoc movement feature with item tracking support. So now the MobileNAV ad hoc movement is prepared for item tracking much better than before. And that concludes my presentation. I do not know whether we have any questions.
Currently none, but we will wait for a few minutes still, so you can ask any question you want related to the 10.0, or if you have any other topics. We still have a few minutes left. So in the meantime, so if you want to reach out to us, here you can see our contact details. So there is an email address, contact@multisoft.edu. Please feel free to reach out to me. And it's also a useful email address to keep all the time looped. So if you are addressing an email directly to me or any of my colleagues, please put this email address on carbon copy. So if any of us is out of the office, the others can cover for them. There is also a website. This is partner.multisoft.edu. You can find all our products there with some high-level information of the capabilities, and what we can't emphasize enough, I believe that's the roadmap. All products has a roadmap there. You can check the latest releases, new features there. You can see the upcoming feature ideas. You can also share your ideas there. and we want you to share your ideas there. So if you have any function requirements, or if you think there's something that we can use in our application, please share it with us. We always evaluate these, and yeah, we make a vote system, I believe. So you can vote for all submitted ideas as well, and most definitely we will implement those that make sense in our opinion as well, and those are rated the highest on this roadmap feature. So yeah, that was 10.0. Again, just to summarize everything we heard, there was the user interface, user experience redesign. That's one of the major updates that we have done in the recent years. That's very exciting for us. Please leave your feedback either here or reach out to us in an email. We also appreciate the negative feedback, so let me know if there is anything that you think we could do better. And also, please pay attention to that deadline that I have mentioned earlier regarding the licensing updates, and also consider the promotions. I think those are unprecedented promotions. So yeah, just let me know if you need anything, and I will be happy to assist you. I don't see any questions here, so that only means we touched all topics that we wanted today, I think. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'm looking forward to your emails if you have any. Bye-bye.
Bye.